yourself a stroke.
Go.
In the house! Find a pickup
For the chopper!
Oh, shit.
Closer.
Yang, hit! Next.
Hypnotic. Would you like to hold? This year? You're not gonna be.
Marty, we got There's another one.
Got it.
Oh, is this easy?
Pretty much.
And again? Come on, guys, move it.
Go, 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 move. ¡Tiro que no te lo devuelve!
Hey, Marty.
What the hell?
He's gonna fire and kill you!
This is a disadvantage much on the
Cypher! Rip it, we're coming.
Nothing, run away.
Tripping!
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the explosive world of The Expendables 3, where subtlety is a dirty word and more firepower is always the answer. We kick things off with Barney Ross and his elite crew, Christmas and Gunner, performing what can only be described as the most inefficient yet undeniably spectacular prison break ever conceived. Their target? Doc, an original expendable, whose escape involves a helicopter landing on a moving prison train and a whole lot of fiery chaos. Because apparently a simple key isn't expendable enough. Before you head off, if you're enjoying the kind of content I make, please consider liking and subscribing. No pressure, but it truly helps me keep the action coming. Fresh off their train rescue, the team gets intel about an arms shipment they absolutely need to intercept. So naturally, they storm a heavily fortified cargo ship ready to rumble. But surprise, surprise, the arms dealer isn't just any faceless mercenary. It's Conrad Stonebanks, a man Barney thought he'd put 6 feet under years ago. Stonebanks, played with delicious villainy, pulls off a classic bad guy move, recognizing Barney with a smug grin before making his grand escape via helicopter. As if to add insult to injury, he leaves a little parting gift. An explosion that sends Toll Road plummeting into the water, severely injured. Talk about a welcome back party gone wrong, right? Back on solid ground, or at least in a relatively stable hospital room, Toll Road is in rough shape, clinging to life. Barney's usually stoic facade cracks, revealing a rare moment of vulnerability and guilt. He blames himself, of course, because that's what grizzled action heroes do when their friends get hurt. He feels the crushing weight of the expendable life, realizing his crew, his family, are getting older, and the hits are starting to take a heavier toll. It's almost enough to make you think about retirement plans, like maybe opening a charming little B&B instead of detonating things for a living. Almost. In a move that probably surprised precisely no one, Barney makes the agonizing decision to disband the original Expendables. He sits them down, gives them the "it's not you, it's me," and also Stonebanks wants to kill all of us speech. Of course the guys aren't exactly thrilled about being benched. Christmas, ever the wisecracker, tries to lighten the mood, but Barney's resolute. He believes if he can't protect them, he has to cut them loose, even if it means facing Stonebanks alone. It's a classic heroic sacrifice trope, beautifully executed, though you just know this isn't going to stick. These guys have a loyalty bigger than any explosion. With his old team out of the picture, Barney's left twisting in the wind, but not for long. Enter Drummer, played by the perpetually cool Harrison Ford, who immediately makes it clear he's not here for small talk or pleasantries. Drummer is a CIA operative who wastes no time telling Barney that Stonebanks is a major problem, a ghost in the system, and that the agency wants him terminated with extreme prejudice. He basically offers Barney a job to do what he was already going to do, but with official backing. It's almost like the government finally realized Barney's particular set of skills is surprisingly effective against supervillains, even if his methods are, shall we say, unconventional. Realizing that Stonebanks' operation requires a more nimble, perhaps less old-school explosion approach, Barney decides he needs some new blood. So, he tracks down Bonaparte, played by the delightfully unexpected Kelsey Grammer, who's basically a mercenary headhunter. Bonaparte is tasked with finding a younger, faster, more tech-oriented crew. It's like Barney's trying to upgrade his operating system after years of running on Windows 95. He wants people who can hack systems instead of just blowing them up. The irony being, of course, that blowing things up is still very much in the Expendables' DNA. First on Bonaparte's list is Smiley, a young fighter with a serious chip on his shoulder and even more serious combat skills. Barney watches him in a brutal underground cage match, where Smiley dishes out punishment with a furious intensity. He's got that uncontrolled aggression, that "I'll punch you in the face and then ask questions" attitude that Barney clearly sees potential in. It's a classic rough around the edges but a heart of gold, and a fist of iron recruitment. Smiley might be young, but he definitely knows how to throw a punch, which is pretty much the core job requirement for being an expendable, old or new. Next up is Luna, a formidable woman working as a bouncer in a rather rowdy nightclub. Barney and Bonaparte observe her in action, handling a particularly aggressive patron with an impressive display of martial arts prowess. She's graceful, precise, and utterly lethal, making short work of a guy twice her size without even breaking a sweat. It's clear she's not just muscle. She's got technique. Barney, always appreciative of a good fight, sees her as a vital addition, a necessary dash of modern combat style to balance out his bigger gun solves everything philosophy. Plus, it's always good to have someone who can kick butt and look effortlessly cool doing it. Then there's Thorne, the brain of the outfit, a tech genius who also happens to be a ridiculously agile freerunner and climber. Barney finds him pulling off some impressive parkour stunts, and then, just for good measure, demonstrating his hacking skills. Thorne can get into any system, disarm any alarm, and probably order a pizza using only his mind. He's the guy who can disable the cameras before Barney even has to consider shooting them. It's a stark contrast to the old guard, who probably think hacking involves a pickaxe and a really sturdy wall. Barney's slowly assembling a team that understands Wi-Fi, which is a big step up from just understanding gunpowder. Last but not least, we have Mars, the sharpshooter, the sniper who can hit a fly's eyelash from 2 miles away. Barney watches him demonstrate his precision, calmly taking out targets with unnerving accuracy. Mars brings a quiet, calculated lethality that's different from the brute force of the original crew. He's about strategic elimination rather than widespread destruction. It rounds out the new team, giving Barney a diverse set of skills: muscle, martial arts, tech, and precision firepower. It's like the Avengers, but with more tactical vests and significantly less spandex. And with these 4 fresh faces, Barney thinks he's finally got a team that can outwit Stonebanks. With the new team assembled, it's time for the first official briefing. Barney lays out the mission. Stonebanks is in Bucharest and they need to capture him. He stresses that this isn't a blow-everything-up mission. It requires stealth, intelligence, and modern tactics. The young guns are eager, almost buzzing with that youthful confidence that hasn't yet been repeatedly shattered by years of explosions and betrayal. Barney watches them, a mix of hope and apprehension on his face. He's essentially handing the keys to a brand new, very expensive, and potentially very fragile sports car to a bunch of kids who've only ever driven stick shifts. What could possibly go wrong? The new team deploys to Bucharest, showcasing their sleek, modern approach. Thorne, with his expert hacking skills, disables security systems from a discreet van. Luna moves with a fluid grace through the shadows, while Smiley and Mars provide tactical support and cover. It's all very slick, very precise, very unlike the usual kick down the door and ask questions later approach of the original Expendables. They're making good progress, getting closer to Stonebank's position. You can almost hear Barney thinking, maybe these kids do know what they're doing. The tension is palpable, the quiet efficiency a stark contrast to the usual cacophony. Just when you thought the new team had things under control, Stonebanks, the sly fox, springs his trap. Turns out he was expecting them, having been 1 step ahead the entire time. The young guns are ambushed, outmaneuvered, and despite their best efforts, quickly overwhelmed. The scene shifts rapidly between close-quarters combat and the chilling realization that they're caught. Barney, watching from a distance, can only listen in horror as the comms go silent, replaced by Stonebank's taunting voice on a monitor, confirming the capture. It's a gut punch, a brutal reminder that even fresh talent is no match for a villain who knows all your tricks, and invents a few new ones. The footage of his captured team plays on a loop in Barney's mind, a tormenting echo of his past failures. He's livid, not just at Stonebanks, but at himself for putting these young, inexperienced operatives in harm's way. The weight of command, the responsibility for lives crashes down on him. In a moment of raw desperation, realizing he can't do this alone, he swallows his pride and picks up the satellite phone. Who does he call when the chips are down and the stakes are impossibly high? None other than Trench Mauser, played by the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because when you need to bust some heads, you call in the big guns, literally. Trench arrives, not alone but with the surprisingly versatile Yin Yang, who's apparently traded in his full-time expendable gig for a more lucrative private security career. But when Barney calls, loyalty trumps profit, and Yin Yang is back in the fold. Their reunion is brief, filled with the kind of gruff affection only old mercs can share before they get down to business. The atmosphere is thick with determination, and you can practically hear the collective gears turning as they start to formulate a rescue plan. It's clear that Stonebanks messed with the wrong family, and now the cavalry, albeit a slightly creaky, heavily armed cavalry, is on its way. To bolster their ranks, Barney, Trench, and Yin Yang track down Galgo, a fast-talking, slightly unhinged mercenary played by Wesley Snipes. Galgo has a penchant for dramatic monologues about his past and a surprising number of issues with ex-wives. But beneath the chatter, he's a highly skilled fighter, particularly with knives. After a bit of convincing, and probably because he misses the good old days of mass destruction, Galgo agrees to join. His presence immediately injects a chaotic energy into the team, a wild card that Barney desperately needs. It's like adding a high-octane spice to an already explosive stew. Even Hail Caesar, still recovering from his previous injuries, refuses to be left out. Leaning on a cane, he marches in and declares himself ready for action, albeit with a bit more grimacing than usual. His unwavering loyalty and stubborn refusal to be sidelined underline the deep bond within the original Expendables. It's a powerful moment, showing that even when they're battered and bruised, their spirit remains unbroken. It's like trying to keep a bunch of retired war horses out of a battle. It just doesn't work. The old crew is getting back together, and they're bringing a whole lot of glorious destruction with them. With the reunited old guard and their new allies, including Galgo and Yin Yang, the team gathers for a comprehensive briefing. Their target, Stonebank's heavily fortified compound in Asmenistan. A sprawling, dilapidated complex that looks like it was designed by a supervillain with a fondness for concrete and booby traps. They pore over holographic maps and tactical readouts, discussing entry points, security protocols, and exit strategies. The atmosphere is tense, focused. This isn't just another mission. It's personal. And when you mess with Barney's family, you get the entire, highly combustible family coming after you, with extreme prejudice. The journey to Stonebank's compound begins, a convoy of heavily armed vehicles cutting through the dusty landscape. The chatter is minimal, replaced by the grim determination etched on each mercenary's face. The younger recruits, still reeling from their capture, are eager for redemption. The old-timers, fueled by loyalty and a healthy dose of vengeance, are ready to show Stonebanks why you don't mess with the originals. It's a silent prelude to the storm, the calm before the thunderous symphony of explosions and gunfire. You can feel the collective rumble of anticipation, a promise of impending chaos. The stage is set for an epic showdown. The team begins its infiltration, a ballet of silent takedowns and shadowy movements. Luna, with her martial arts precision, dispatches guards with lethal efficiency. Thorn uses his climbing skills to navigate the complex architecture, while Smiley and Mars provide cover. It's a testament to their combined skills, the old-school brawn perfectly complemented by modern stealth and tech. They're like a highly destructive, yet temporarily quiet symphony orchestra, each instrument playing its part to dismantle Stonebank's defenses from the inside out. For a brief moment, it's all about calculated precision, before the inevitable, glorious pandemonium breaks loose. Well, that moment of quiet precision didn't last long, did it? In a flash, their cover is blown, and the compound erupts into a symphony of gunfire and shouts. Lee Christmas, ever the agile assassin, zips around, dual-wielding pistols with a practiced ease, riddling Stonebank's goons with bullets. Gunnar Jensen, predictably, is a one-man wrecking crew, smashing through obstacles and enemies alike. It's an explosion of pure action, a chaotic dance of bullets, fists, and flying debris. The Expendables are back in their element, a full-blown firefight where every corner holds a new enemy, and every wall is an opportunity for cover, or creative demolition. Amidst the escalating chaos, the main objective remains: rescue the captured young team. Barney, with a focused intensity, leads the charge through corridors filled with Stonebank's heavily armed thugs. The sounds are a cacophony of spent casings hitting the ground, the thud of bodies and the roar of heavy gunfire. Finally, after a brutal push, Barney kicks open the door to the holding cell, and the relief on the young team's faces is palpable. It's a reunion forged in fire and gunpowder, a moment where the old guard proves their loyalty runs deeper than any perceived generational gap. No one gets left behind, not on Barney's watch. Rearmed and fueled by a desire for redemption, the young team wastes no time joining the fray. Smiley, Luna, Thorn, and Mars dive into the heart of the conflict, showcasing their individual strengths. Luna's martial arts skills are a whirlwind of precision. Smiley's brute force is unleashed. Thorn uses his hacking to disrupt enemy systems, and Mars provides crucial cover fire. It's a fantastic moment of synergy. The old guard's experience guiding the young blood's raw talent. They're no longer just new recruits. They're Expendables, fighting side by side, a truly unified force. The compound is now officially a playground for highly skilled mayhem, and then things go from intense firefight to literal war zone. The entire compound becomes a canvas for glorious multicolored explosions. Walls crumble, Debris flies, and the sound of continuous gunfire is almost deafening. Gunner, as expected, seems to be having the time of his life, laughing amidst the destruction. Every corner, every corridor is a new stage for an epic struggle. The Expendables are pushing through Stonebank's seemingly endless army, their movements coordinated, their resolve unwavering. It's a beautifully choreographed ballet of devastation, where every step forward means taking out a dozen more bad guys. This isn't just a battle, it's a statement. Just when you think the Expendables have the upper hand, Stonebanks, ever the over-preparer, rolls out his ultimate surprise, a heavily armored tank. Because when in doubt, add a tank. The rumbling treads, the roar of the cannon, the metallic clang of its turret turning. It's a game changer. The tank starts tearing through the already damaged compound, making short work of walls and cover points, giving Stonebank's remaining forces a significant advantage. It's a moment of, uh-oh, maybe we are in over our heads. A grim reminder that even the Expendables face overwhelming odds. This isn't just about bullets anymore. It's about concentrated heavy artillery. But fear not. Because just when all hope seems lost, when the tank is rumbling menacingly towards our heroes, a familiar whirring sound cuts through the din of battle. It's Drummer, flying in with a helicopter, guns blazing. Harrison Ford, proving he's still got it, pilots the chopper like a seasoned pro, raining down fire and rockets on Stonebank's tank and ground forces. The metallic whine of the helicopter's weapon system as it unleashes its fury is a glorious sound. It's the cavalry arriving at the perfect, most dramatically appropriate moment, turning the tide with a flurry of explosions, and turning Stonebank's tank into a glorified tin can. With the compound literally falling apart around them, Barney's focus narrows. He leaves the massive firefight to his capable team and pursues Stonebanks directly. The sound of crumbling concrete and twisting metal echoes around him as he navigates the disintegrating structure, driven by a singular purpose: vengeance. Stonebanks is trying to escape, slithering through the chaos, but Barney is relentless, a predator hot on the heels of his prey. The tension builds with every collapsing wall, every near miss, as the two former partners hurtle towards their inevitable, explosive confrontation. The air is thick with dust and the promise of a final, brutal reckoning. Finally, after years of history and hours of mayhem, Barney confronts Stonebanks. It's a raw, brutal hand-to-hand fight, devoid of fancy choreography, fueled by pure rage and desperation. Stonebanks, ever the manipulator, relentlessly taunts Barney, trying to get under his skin, bringing up their past, reminding him of every failure and perceived weakness. The crack of bone, the grunt of exertion, the metallic clang of objects hitting the ground, every sound emphasizes the visceral nature of their struggle. Barney's punches carry the weight of betrayal. Stonebank's strikes are laced with psychotic glee. This isn't just a fight. It's a deeply personal, violent catharsis. After a grueling, no-holds-barred brawl, Barney finally gains the upper hand. He stares down Stonebanks, who, even in defeat, tries one last desperate taunt. But Barney, past the point of listening, delivers the killing blow with a single, decisive shot. The air is thick with the ringing silence immediately after the gun goes off. A brief moment of finality. But the peace is fleeting, as the entire compound, already compromised, begins its final, spectacular collapse. The floor gives way. Metal screams and concrete crumbles around Barney, forcing him to make a desperate dash for safety amidst the deafening roar of destruction. Stonebanks is gone, but the mountain of chaos he created remains. With Stonebanks finally out of the picture, the main objective shifts to sheer survival. The combined old and new teams, battered but victorious, race against the clock and the collapsing structure to escape. Drummer, ever reliable, swoops in with his helicopter, providing a crucial extraction point. The sounds of breaking glass, grinding metal, and the frantic scramble of feet on unstable ground fill the air as they barely make it out. It's a chaotic but ultimately successful escape, leaving a monument of dust and debris behind them. The Expendables once again defied impossible odds, leaving their particular brand of glorious destruction in their wake. In the aftermath, the team finds themselves recovering in a military hospital, a familiar scene for these hardened mercenaries. Bandages, casts, and grimaces are on full display, a testament to the brutal cost of their profession. But amidst the pain, there's also camaraderie, quiet jokes, and the shared understanding that only those who face death together can truly know. Barney, ever the reluctant leader, surveys his family, old and new, and perhaps, just perhaps, realizes that sometimes you don't disband a team. You expand it. The quiet sounds of a hospital room replace the explosions, offering a moment of poignant reflection. Soon enough, the hospital rooms are traded for a lively pub, where the old and new Expendables finally get to relax and celebrate their hard-won victory. The atmosphere is jovial, filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and the kind of camaraderie that can only be forged in the fires of battle. Barney officially welcomes the younger recruits into the fold, acknowledging their bravery and skill. It's a montage of acceptance and belonging, proving that while new blood might bring new skills, the core values of loyalty, courage, and a penchant for blowing things up remain timeless. The new Expendables have earned their stripes, and the family is bigger and stronger than ever. And so, as the dust settles and the celebratory hangovers begin to fade, we see the combined Expendables, old and new, standing shoulder to shoulder, ready for their next adventure. It's a powerful image of continuity and evolution. This film teaches us that while the landscape of conflict might change, the spirit of fighting for what's right, protecting your family, and facing challenges head-on never goes out of style. The Expendables remind us that strength isn't just about individual power, but about the bonds we forge, the lessons we learn, and the legacy we build together. They may be expendable, but their impact, their spirit, and their unwavering fight for freedom are anything but. What an exhilarating ride, huh?